There were some people that were provoked by the fact that I'm going to try to save the child benefit I get from the state. On TikTok, of course, the place for hate, they thought that if you are able to save it all, then you shouldn't receive it at all. And that might be a discussion that is worth having. But where do we draw the line and based on what? Where do you set the wealthy threshold? Is it going to be based on income, on assets, or both? And who will decide? These are complex questions without any easy answer. But one thing is very certain, and that is that we are very privileged here in Norway to even receive something like this from the state. And that made me want to make a video about how I'm able to afford to invest even though I have a below average salary. Because the opportunity for me to invest doesn't come from having a high income. I earn about 565,000 Norwegian kroners a year, and that's about $53,000 US dollars. It's not too bad, and I'm grateful for it, of course, but it's a slightly below the average of a content creator working in corporate and having the same education and experience as I got. It's also below the overall average salary here in Norway and also below the median salary. And my husband, sorry to call you out yet again, isn't exactly rolling in cash either. I mean, let's be real, if we were swimming in money, we wouldn't spend every afternoon, every weekend renovating this house by ourselves. We would hire professionals to do everything. We probably wouldn't have bought this place at all. The reason we bought this place was to renovate it, to increase the value of it over time and build our wealth, and to create a rental unit downstairs. That is a key part of our journey to lower our monthly expenses and become financially free, which is our ultimate goal. So the reason I am able to invest and the reason why I might be able to save all the child benefit I get from the state, and I want to emphasize might, because I don't know what I'm getting myself into. This is my first child. I might be very naive. And while I read all about it and interviewed every parent I know and prepared myself for the impact that this will have on our economy, you don't know, right? For example, if she inherits my eczema, she will have regular visits to the dermatologist's office, and she will have these expensive treatments and creams and medication, and then we might need that money after all. But the reason I'm able to invest and work towards my ultimate goal of financial freedom is due to my priorities and my conscious financial decisions. And that might provoke people even more because all of us have completely different starting points in life. The world isn't fair, and it's certainly not black and white. However, I do believe that we have all the same opportunity, to take charge of our situation and work towards achieving better everyday finances. This is how I personally approach it. So firstly, I budget my salary and I live according to that plan. Every Norwegian krone has a purpose and we track our spending closely, especially on food. I have an app for every store and I actively look for and utilize good deals and free coupons wherever possible, because every little saving adds up over time. I actively use the knowledge and the experience I have to make myself an extra income stream with UGC. I work as a content creator, so I thought that UGC would be right up my alley, and it is. And this allows me to add more to my regular income and allocate more towards my savings and investments. I'm a big advocate for secondhand, and I sell everything I'm not using and I buy secondhand. It's surprising how much you can earn and save by doing this. I'm also renting things out that we have that we are not using constantly and are always on the lookout for more things to rent out. The neon sign that we used in our wedding, the vases, the flower vases that I bought for our wedding, work tools and hiking equipment, I rent it all out for about $10 a day. I also use an online survey app called Atapol, which everyone can download and use, and I do some surveys every now and then. It's not a huge earner, but I'm a big believer that every little bit helps. I'm also here on YouTube trying to make it where a whole 93 people watched my last video. So that's a little bit embarrassing to say out loud, but I love doing it and I will continue to try. The minimum amount you need to start investing here in Norway are just 100 kroners, which is about $10. That is incredibly accessible. And I truly believe that most people can do so. I mean, I just gave you a ton of tips on how you can do the same. I think there's a common misconception that investing isn't worth it because you can't put large amounts of money into it. But I fundamentally disagree. Again, I'm a fan of taking just small steps, and I see a lot of value in the small amounts of money. Like 100 kroners, I can start investing. I'm an investor now. And it's really easy to earn those 100 kroners. And a little bit of consistent investing over time is far, far more valuable than doing nothing at all. And my goal of financial freedom, that is really, really far away because I can't afford right now to invest as much as I should. But it gives me a lot of joy just being able to take small steps. And even if I never reach it, I have put myself in a much better financial position than if I hadn't done anything at all. But quality time with my loved ones and traveling the world, experiencing things and completing my bucket list, not only my bucket list, but Jørgen's bucket list and our future daughter's bucket list, that just gives me all the motivation that I need. It's hard to get rich. That is why not everyone is wealthy, and we need to work hard and we need to put ourselves out there. So I encourage you to use your knowledge, your experience, your wisdom, your skills to make you some extra money, whether it's freelancing, selling something, or offering a service. Every bit of this contributes to being able to have more financial flexibility. But we need to have fun on the way there because we can't live our lives always dreading Mondays, always looking forward to days off. Life is meant to be lived fully and not just in the precious hours you have a weekend, a holiday, time off, something like that. But you have the power to change your life, and I am genuinely rooting for you to do so in whatever way that looks for you. Whether it's starting a side hustle, learning a new skill, or being more intentional with your spending, every step counts. And if you're also on the challenging journey of trying to make it on YouTube, please let me know in the comments and I will subscribe to your channel. I will engage with your content because I know how hard it is to build an audience from scratch and I want to help you out. Let's build a supportive community here where we can share our struggles, learn from each other, and celebrate our successes. I hope this has given you some food for thought, or perhaps a little spark of inspiration to take actions to work towards your own goals. Remember, almost everyone starts at zero and with small steps, so don't be afraid to take yours. Keep striving and working hard towards that life that you desire. I will do the same. And we'll see each other in the next video.